Welcome to hole number one of the Globe Series 9-hole Cup. Now, we're playing here on the beautiful Vineyard Acres course, and I'm setting up with an extra mile level 6. I do have only a navigator ball here, but with a generous tailwind, max topspin here, max right spin, max overpower, and max right curl with this level of extra mile, about a ball of right curl. You should be able to get this one very, very close to the green, even with a less than perfect shot. A lot of room there for minor great balls. It should leave you a very flat, very straightforward wedge shot here to start this tournament off with a much needed eagle. So as you do, you line it up with the end bringer. There's the max line there. I'm going to use my little chart to determine roughly the position of the hole, around 40 to 45% there. Sometimes I'll estimate, sometimes not. Into the headwind here, I might overestimate just to ensure compensating for that. Because it's a lower level end bringer, a level 3, I'm playing 15%, but in general 20% here as recommended is the rule here for this club. So making my adjustment and making sure to line this up and hit perfect when the money shot counts. Guys, I hope you have a good baseball season here. I don't know, fall times, good times. Okay, so this first part 3, I don't have the most amazing plan here, but about 4 bars of backspin, 1 bar or so of right spin here. And I'm using the tip of the ball guide and trying to follow, Golf Clash Tommy's sort of general rule. A crosswind, kind of get the tip of the ball guide to the cup. Tailwind, you're going to set before the cup. And headwind, you want to have that ball guide well through the hole. I'm adjusting here 1 to 1 as a general rule with the sniper, especially the level 9, level 10, when you've got that advanced accuracy. And this one here, as you can see, comes in very, very nicely and sets us up for a very good base shot. Okay, so hole number 3, this is literally one of my favorite albatross shots in the whole game. I set up with the extra mile, level 6, and a Titan here. Going to go 4.5 top, 2 bars of right spin, and you'll see we've got about a quarter of the red ring in the right rough with this level of club here. So 10% max is going to be the adjustment. Nothing too crazy here, just a straightforward pull. Obviously the wind angle, I can see it's so bad, right? But we're learning, we're getting better. Just a half ball of right curl here, no intentional overpower or underpower, just a clean shot just to make sure you bounce at the end of that fairway. And we're trying to leave ourselves in the long iron range. Now, you could play a different long iron if that's your jam. You could certainly bring a Goliath here or something else, but I find 1 bar of top spin, 1 bar right spin. We're going to have the top of that yellow ring touching the rough there. As you can see, just a clean little setup. Gets that ball guide to run beautifully to the hole. Of course, if you've got headwind here, you're going to have to adjust those spins a little bit, or, a massive crosswind. But for this kind of wind, and of course, we're going to have big wind in the tournament, so you're going to have to be making some tweaks. And I think we're going to have still a very good chance on this hole. So 10% mid on the pull. And no big deal. We just have to line up this perfect Titan in the middle of the ring to indeed hit that perfect ball. And this is going to be one of those early drops you're really going to need, because hole 9 is just a bit tougher to get the boom. All right, so hole number 4, this par 3, I mean, look how straightforward this is, right? So we're going to use the lines of the rough and ring references with our club to give ourselves a reasonably good setup. I'm going to ultimately use 1 bar of backspin here, and we're going to have the top of the red ring touching the top of the rough. I try my best to always have like even spin adjustments. I try to avoid the 0.5s, the 0.3, stuff like that. The interpretation is always a little bit more difficult. But here with the top of the red ring, 1 bar of backspin, adjusting 1 to 1. And I find, especially with these higher level backbone, level 9, level 10, it's really going to put you in a very good position to try playing that club 1 to 1. This one comes in oh so close, but we need to be dropping this one in the tournament. Okay, so hole number 5, I don't really consider this a hole that we're trying to get an albatross. I'm just trying to make sure we get to the green as safely as we can in 2 here. Extra mile, Titan ball, and we're going to use 2 bars of top spin. You could use 3 in most cases, and a couple bars of left spin as well. At max here, max distance with about half that red ring going to be in the left rough. We're going to adjust this shot here, 10% max. That's pretty common with the extra mile, but it's good to do that. You do want to compensate for the wind. Now, with the headwind here, I give this, I think, circle break plus a couple clicks, and then half a ball of left curl. Could have gone a little bit more, but this is a good shot here to put us in a decent position to get it to the green, which we're not going to quite, but very, very close. So second shot here, bring your big dog, or if you've got a cataclysm by some magical occurrence at a high level, use that. Whatever club is going to get you there the furthest. You could consider Horizon here as well, but be careful with the Great Ball with that club. Same with this. So 3 bars here. I'm going to say anywhere from 2 to 4 bars of top spin, and I'm using 2 bars of left spin. If you are, you know, in a different position with the drive, then you're going to have a different angle of approach on this shot, and you might need to, you know, as with the crosswind, you know, or whatever wind, you know, change your spins to get this one down to the green. So 10% max, and I do believe we're just going to give it a little bit like 3/4 of a ball of left curl. I could have gone half ball here. I put half to 3/4 in the notes, and you'll see how this one is going to have a second bounce rough bump effect. I'm not going to show you this chip. I know you know how to get there, but this is basically going to be an eagle. All right, so hole number 6, this is a very, very tough par 4 here. The drive alone here, you need to be very, very careful. I'm going to use 2 bars of top spin, 2 bars of left spin. Of course, with this quarterback, because I want accuracy, and I do want to keep this ball safely on the fairway. There is definitely situations in high-level play you can get this one over the water, but in the vast majority of rookie player circumstances, I think this is going to be your safest play. You can do a drive to the right-hand side of the hazards here as well. Of course, that's not super tough to work out, but I mean, this one gets you a bit closer, puts you into the long iron range, whereas you can put yourself in the wood range, which is fine, you know, but this puts you in a good spot here. And as you can see, we're going to have a look towards the green on the second shot. I'm going to play 3 bars of backspin, 1 bar of left spin, and just because we don't have much room to work with, it's a bit of a short green before the hole here. And I kind of not ironically, but incidentally, have the yellow ring touching the rough there, just a bit of a reference. However, with the Goliath level 5, that's going to change from club to club, depending what you've got in your bag. 10% mid distance is the attempted pull here with the 2.8 wind. You don't need much of a pull with the Goliath, which is a reason I enjoy this long iron, and I think you will too for many, many situations. So this one comes in, rolls in beautifully, just checks up a bit short, but I think it gives you a very safe way to the green. Hole number 7, this is a lovely little par 3. Tons of opportunity here for happiness and positive outcomes. I'm going to set up here with the Navigator and a Goliath ball. Only going to need about 1 bar of backspin. Not too much otherwise spin, even with kind of an ugly wind here. As you can see, we're playing down between the bunkers with the red ring. Very close to being centered up, but closer to the right-hand side. Second bounce just up onto the green, maybe about 1 green square or less. Just past the fringe. So adjustment here, 5% mid is what I've found to work well in this situation. So we set it up, clean pull, not a bad pull angle, but I'm learning so much about it. It does make a big difference. So clean setup, perfect result. And I think you can tell where this one's going to go. I think this will be a good one, and we're going to get a lot of drops here. Okay, so hole number 8, this is an incredibly difficult par 4 once again, and I think you'll find that's going to be like the theme of this tournament. People who can master the par 4s are really going to have a great advantage. So I decide upon the Katana for this 3 bars of right spin. I'm also going to use max top, which is just about 4, something like 3.8. With this club QB, level 9, we're going to play that at max extension with that white ring touching the right rough. Max overpower, max strike curl, as you can see. And this one should come in very well. You can play an extra mile here. APOC is an excellent choice for the curl, but in rookie, this is a great way to go. Second shot, you could certainly choose the Guardian here. The backspin is very helpful to roll it back, but this sniper does do a pretty darn good job. As you can see, a good amount of backspin. So use the wood club that you think is going to put you in a good position. And you can see, if I had a little bit of a direct tailwind here, I wouldn't quite have room, but with max back, gives me enough room to set up a little bit of a pull here, playing that 10% mid, and no big deal there. We're just at that min line, hitting perfect, and I think, you know, in the right setup and right situation, this one definitely can go. You'll be the judge of that, but I think the Guardian is going to be an equally good setup. So just like that, very close, not too bad, comes in nicely. It's going to be a tough one here, a few hard holes. All right, so hole number 9, whatever you do, make sure you get your eagle, because many players will not. And this one is going to be tougher than it looks. 1 bar of backspin here just to control the roll out. And I'm just lining it up with max distance here with this club and getting that ball guide down the end of the fairway. I really recommend the Rock. It's got a great ball guide, and you can trust it a little bit more than, say, an Extra Mile or something like that, as far as really getting that pin point placement and precision, not the precision on the ball, but precision outcomes here. Because getting this one way without going over is absolutely the name of the game. You cannot fail this mission. You need to be in the short stuff. Second shot with your long, strong club. The big dog here, max top. I think it's about 6 bars or so with this level. I don't really need any side spin, so good. None remaining. As you can see, we're just lining it up so that at max extension, that ball guide is going to be running down the center of the fairway and favoring a little bit to the left, just so that we can get ourselves into position for a short iron shot to get the eagle. This is a very long and obstructed par 5. In the perfect wind conditions with the right balls and clubs, yes, you can get down there. But you need to know how to play this hole this way if you're playing an average rookie account. So max overpower, there's risky with the big dog. Even with a great, though, puts us in a decent position here to try to get this drop. I like to use 2 bars of backspin when I'm using my low-level thorns. It gives me an idea of where I need to set it up. The adjustment on this shot is 10% mid, especially when you've got a really nice tailwind like this. If you've got a strong crosswind, you might have to be playing 15 or so. Keep that in mind. And I've got this just about 1.5 or so, maybe 2 green squares short of the hole with that third bounce, because we don't have much ball guide to work with. Guys, I think the Globe Series is going to be fun. Vineyard Acres, classic course. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. You're just marching towards 10K, and I love playing the Golf Clash with you. Good luck. Thank you for watching.